everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Bitch Sesh, the Real Housewives breakdown show.
I'm Casey Wilson. Oh, God.
We can never get this
We can never get it right.
I'm Danielle Schneider, but it's underwhelming now. Hi, how are you doing, Case?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I had a strange thing happen this week, which just kind of shows I'm not sure, like, you know, I'm hitting a wall, maybe age-wise, as Carol said.
Yeah.
I only have so many summers. She and I were both getting up there. And this was kind of like a thing that that sort of solidified that in my mind. Whereas I went to a Shopee and bought... I was shopping for a friend and I bought what I thought were sachets, like little potpourri sachets. And it was a box of...
Oh, Grandma.
It's not even here is where I'm Grandma. This is just the beginning. So, and there was literally a box of like 25 sachets. And I was like, I want to put them everywhere. I just moved into a new house. I'm just going to sprinkle them about.
So this was for you.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
This wasn't even a gift.
Yeah.
This was a gift for me. And I was like, I'm in a new place. I just want to like get the stench of the old owners out and bring the new in.
Right.
So I got like a bunch of like these like rose petal sachets, like rose smelling sachets. So I went everywhere in my house, like put them in every nook and cranny and willy-nilly. Like I wasn't charting where any of this was going. I was just like, see an open space, put a sachet, like just like in drawers.
I've heard of them like maybe just one discreetly placed in an underwear drawer, but never in any other room beyond a bedroom.
There were 25 and I just went hog wild. Like,
was this at Costco you got these?
No, like at a little like trinkets and treasure store.
Listening.
And so like, you know, like they just had bits and baubles and cookbooks.
My favorite kind of store.
Cookbooks and shirts. Like it was all over the place, but adorable. And so I just like felt you know how I do with whimsy terrifically. And so I spread them everywhere. But I was like, why am I not smelling this? Like why? Like 2 days later, I was like, I feel like I should have more fragrance coming out. So then I was like, I dug into the garbage like a fucking raccoon that I am, and just to take out the box that I had gotten the sachets in, and it turns out they were bath salts.
What?
They were not potpourri, they were bath salts.
What were they in a little sash bag?
They were in a sash bag, but they were bath salts.
Okay.
And so I now have not been able to recover all of the bath salts. I have found 10 of them.
Can you put your daughter on it as a fun activity?
I'm afraid she might eat them.
Yeah.
I don't know. They looked delicious.
And you didn't smell any of them at the time?
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I did not do my due diligence. And I did not read the box.
Right.
They just looked like a sachet.
I thought in my head, I'm like, I've never heard of a package of 25 sachets.
Yeah.
Or bath salts.
It's strange.
You know what? You're doing your best.
I am. So now there are bath salts hidden about my house, and I don't know where to find them. I have turned the house over.
Do you want it to smell good, or do you want it to be like cleansed of energy?
I want it to smell good.
Oh.
If it rains in my house, I will be able to find them inside. Like if there's because then there will be a fizzing.
There's a flood.
A bubble up about the house of like salt.
You'll just find them as you go, it sounds like.
So as I said, like I don't know where they are. A, I did not look, and I have no idea where they are. And B, I don't know that I will ever find them. I'm just worried about myself. I have not told my husband.
He's going to start finding them. They'll reveal themselves when the time is right.
When they want to be found, they'll be found.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at mentally. So just know that going into today's podcast. Like that's who I am right now. And be sensitive to that.
I was going to say if you wanted a cleansing, because our friend Kulop, who was on the podcast, Kulop Elisak, I needed a cleansing, as everyone does after a baby nurse leaves.
Yeah.
And this is a real 1%er. I had a really horrible experience with a baby nurse and then had to let her go. And I was so distraught. And Kulop showed up at my door. When I tell you with the energy, Kulop is such a can-do person.
Yes.
She came and she's like, hi, I've got sage. and just went through the house. And I mean, it seemed so insane. And when she came to the door, I was like, what? We saged every nook and cranny of the house. Cool Up and I split up at points. We were up and down, saging, every corner, every doorway, every window. And I gotta tell you, the energy shifted.
Really?
It did.
So should I have her to my house to sage?
I think so. First of all, she loves it. She's like, got sage,
sage?
will travel.
I know. Does she have sage to spare? Like
Cool
bushels?
Up always has sage. And the best was that she had just come from Europe and had this. She had treated herself too, as you've seen.
Yes.
And I don't think she'll mind my saying.
No, she won't.
Cool Up is writing, creating, performing, acting in her own show. And it was like such a humongous job that she got. And she treated herself to a Chanel purse and a Chanel wallet that will knock your fucking socks off.
Bet.
We give her own seat, the purse, when we go out.
Really?
Yes, because she deserves as much. And so Cool Up showed up with like purse in hand and sage. It was just like, oh.
God bless.
I hate myself for telling this story.
No, I love it. And I would like her to Cool Up if you're listening. I hope you are, but you're a busy girl.
She's very busy.
So please come to my house.
She's got to find money to put in that wallet.
This is a call to you. Maybe are you also like, can she hear me from afar? The call to sage my house.
Cool Up will pick up on it. And I guarantee she'll arrive. Yeah.
Well, I'm putting it out in the universe.
Good luck, Danielle.
Thank you, Casey.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm so impressed with our Facebook page, Bitch Sesh by Aileen 2. It's a group, and you can join it.
Amazing.
Is that right?
Yes.
Grandma's instructions?
Yes, Grandma. Facebook, I think we're still on with Grandma's because I think the newer Mills and Z's are on Snapchat, which we put our toe in, but we took it right out.
And I can't figure it out.
I can't even look at it anymore. I'm scared of it.
I know.
It's like a dragon.
But I do want us to recommit to that.
Yes, we will.
At some point, yeah.
We will.
But the Facebook group is hilarious. It has truly taken on a life of its own. To our friends of mine, we're like, are you looking at this? It's a safe space.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say just women, but women and gay men.
Yeah.
And God bless them all. And everybody's very active, posting things about the housewives. It is hilarious.
I love it. It feels like coming home.
It does.
When I'm there, I'm like, oh, these are my people. We found our people.
It's like the saged corner of my Facebook groups.
I almost feel like we could go off, get a state, like get a piece of land.
Yeah.
You know,
are we starting a cult?
Then yes. Like I feel like this is a cult I need to be involved in.
I do feel like, and not that the goal is like, it's very like-minded people. And by like-minded, I mean people who watch horrible television. That's what unites us all. But everybody's got a huge sense of humor about it, which just kills me. It's really funny.
And everyone has someone at home judging them.
Yeah.
And so they feel like I can't be my true self.
Yeah, we're all beaten down in that way.
So now we can shine in this one little pocket of the internet. It's
truly such a funny page? Group?
It's an internet section.
Internet area.
100 years old, but I love it. I browse. Sometimes I browse and I don't say anything. Sometimes I'm there silent. And
someone's showing needle points that they're doing, which someone did this gorgeous needle point that said, what did it say?
I tried to make it nice.
And then she did one like, this is neither the time nor the place. Like all these housewife slogans.
And then they were trying to find a name for themselves today.
Yeah.
Like someone had said like the Seshers. Someone had said like by Aileen 2. Someone had I forget. There were a lot of great discussion.
Oh,
someone was just calling it the PTA moms, like Marissa and.
I gotta say, I always want a Facebook group to succeed, and this one is.
Oh, this one is far exceeding my expectations.
Speaking of exceeding expectations, I was just laughing. This is a 2-second little story, but my agents sent me, not to brag, an audition last night, and I got my eyes on the character description, which as an actress, your agents basically send you out for parts that they think you're right for. So on some level, they're like, oh yeah, you can play this one.
Yeah, they're saying, we know you. This is you.
Yeah, this is you.
To a T. They're not trying to have you stretch your range.
No, God, no. Like if I'm like, okay, I do something serious, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess it was a few years ago, I got one that said overweight and common as dirt. And I was
Casey.
So I know. But you know what? I let it roll off. I'm just like, but if anything, I'm like, I think I could get this.
Casey.
Well, but this one had me laughing so hard. It just kind of caught me by surprise. It's like before I've even had coffee. It's like some movie, and the role was actress, and it said pretty from the right angle, but mostly just methed out. Then it says, gets fucked. That's what they use that word in the character description. It's like, gets fucked early on.
Mentally?
No.
Physically?
It says, gets fucked early on. And then in all caps, it says, must do nudity. And I was like, what a dream, Hollywood. What a dream.
Thank you, Hollywood. I'll pay to do it.
And then it was like 3 lines. Like, it wasn't even like a big part, you know? And I'm just laughing so hard. I'm like, first of all, if someone wants to see nudity, you got it. I am so happy to show this bod, front, back, side, under, anything. If you want to see it, great. I'd love for you to see it. That's on you.
Yes. Well, you do have a beautiful body.
Okay.
No, I have seen you.
What?
I've
When?
seen you.
What?
I've seen you. We've been in spas together. I've peeped.
You've peeped.
I've peeped.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Guys.
maybe I'll get this role.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
And then you're writing back like, ooh, like, let me get my babysitter. I've got to go out for this.
Lucky to get.
Lucky to be
I
thought
once
of.
had an audition where the description was Asian. Now, I am not. And so I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe they're...
And no offense to you, but let's get an Asian actress.
Yeah, well, and I thought to myself, oh, maybe they're just opening it up. You know, maybe they just are like, it says Asian, but they're looking at, you know, Jewish, Hispanic, Italian, like other sort of people.
Sure.
And I went there and was the only non-Asian person. And so I decided that maybe my agents think I was Asian.
And you know they may.
And they may have. And that was strange. It was, I want to say, for like Flower Drum Song. It was really strange. It's one of my first auditions.
And you're just sitting there like...
business in New York, and I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but...
It's so crazy, especially when you're starting out. The first agent I got was for... This is wild. Okay, I got a call. It was like, we want to represent you. I'm like, oh yeah, baby. And they're like, as a plus size model. I was like, okay, model. I'm neither of those things. You know, in some way you're building me up, but in other ways, which is fine. But it's just
not true.
Well, I'm not a model, and I guess I was plus size actually, but I was more honestly just like, oh, I'm not a model. It was all weird.
You're neither of those things, and that's strange. But I was not Chinese,
and I went out for all of the roles. And there's gorgeous plus size women out there that were beating me, of course, in all the parts. But I did land a campaign. Maybe you remember if you lived in New York in a certain time for a little drug called Zelnorm, which was a bloated stomach campaign. Which I was paid $1,200 for, but luckily I was my own before and after for the bloated stomach.
Oh,
which is nice.
Yeah,
you know, you
so
don't want to be just the before.
No, you got to be before and after. So they realize, like, after a meal, all of us can look a certain way.
Exactly.
I mean, and then, you know, a few hours later, we're right as rain.
Yeah.
After some Zelnor, we're right as rain.
Yeah, you're good. And so, you know, they just did like a photo shoot of my stomach, and I was like, I'm a star. Well,
I once did a commercial for oh God, what's that brand that was like had the slutty commercials? The you know, like, oh, I want to remember it, but it was like, it's like Axe body spray. Oh, I did an Axe body spray commercial, and I thought I was the shit. I was like, they have the hottest women in those ads. I am doing it. I was like,
didn't they fly you somewhere?
Yeah, they flew me to Brazil.
What?
Flew me for 24 hours to Brazil.
First class?
Yeah.
Wow.
National.
Wow.
I'd never been in first class before. I was like,
yeah.
And I remember because the flight was delayed, so it was like 4 a.m. and they were serving meals, and I was like, I'm staying up. Like, I need to be awake and conscious for this whole thing. Like, I was like, I'm here. I'm staying up. I kept myself up so I could like have the experience. I was like, this might not come around again. So I'm in an Axe body spray commercial, feeling myself. Like, maybe I don't see myself, you know, like the way other people.
Maybe if anything,
body model.
Yeah,
we get there, and they have split us up into 2 groups.
Okay,
the models and then the real regulars.
The regulars.
And I was sifted and put in the real regulars group, and then I knew who I was. Then I saw myself.
Were the other regulars cute?
Okay.
Oh no! And so what was the context of the commercial?
I was supposed to be a nerdy teacher, and then someone walks in.
I don't love that nerdy teacher.
And then a foreign person walks in, a Brazilian walks in, and then I literally say the lines, "Bow chicka wow wow."
So if anything, you're so unattractive that you're like titillated by the hot ones.
Hot teacher. So, I mean, by a hot guy walking in. Student, nonetheless. Student. I'm the old maid of a teacher.
How was that flight back on first class? You're just like staring out the window.
Can I say that it got like delayed in Miami? It was just like it was like after a gorgeous kind of like drunk experience, like the hangover, the walk of shame afterwards, and then I ended up being from Miami to LA and just like regular because like
steerage.
Yes, just like a real like I was real regular.
Y'all have to fall back down to earth, and it is
it's a long fall.
Yeah, it is.
Because the build-up feels so good.
Oh, right. Well, guys, Danielle and I are doing the Lord's work, and obviously in the hardest profession.
So
we are.
I know there's coal miners and cancer doctors, but we're really doing.
I would
the
say
tough stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Lord's work,
yes,
we have an amazing guest today.
Yes, I'm very excited about this.
I know he is a good friend of mine. We worked on. He's a writer, a very funny writer, and he's also an amazing fashion mind. I always used to come into work saying like, "Am I doing okay?" And he would mostly say yes. There were some weird nods.
Comme des Garçons wallet just strewn just casually on the nook
as
table.
As if it doesn't matter.
As if it's nothing.
Doesn't matter.
And I saw you, and is that a black motorcycle boot of some type?
It is. It's a Fiorentini & Baker.
You're so annoying.
Motorcycle boot.
Ladies
and what are those sunglasses? Sorry.
Please welcome Marcos Luevanos.
Luevanos.
See, I knew I would screw it up. I'm sorry,
okay,
Marcos. I have known him for a long time, everybody.
That's all right. I love you enough. I love you so much.
Give it to us one more time.
Yeah.
Luevanos.
Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm such a huge fan of the podcast. I'm also excited to be here because I know exactly where I rank on Danielle's list of gay friends. I'm way below Matt McConkey, but I'm above Greg Bennett. So I'm there, and that's where I want to be, between those two men. It's exactly where I want to be.
And you're lower than Drew Joji.
Yes.
Above Brian Safi.
Yes.
Above Dan Bukatinsky.
Yes.
Which is a big one.
That's a big one. And we don't like to say above and below, but it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
Although the more I'm getting to know you, I'm ready to bump you up.
I mean,
I'm so sorry.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Pull me up.
I know. Put me in,
Pull me up out of the gutters.
Yes. Now Marcos is hilarious, so funny, and a huge Housewives fan.
Big Housewives fan.
And gorgeous for you fellas out there.
Yeah, I'm very single. So
really?
Yeah, I'm very single. Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that.
I'm ready to eat Pringles, so I'm ready to do that. So
he also gives us advice when I'm writing and I want to know what like the mills are kind of like when I need to know what a young single person is doing, like what they're up to, I'll text Marcos. He'll tell me.
Marcos, like, what are you up to on the weekends?
Mm-hmm.
Well, usually,
as a single, fun, gorgeous person.
Friday night, I usually go out to my local gay bar, which is Akbar. So usually I'm there.
Of course.
And, throwing a few back, which is nice.
And is that gays of all ages there?
Yes. Yeah. Gays of all ages. Now it's becoming kind of like the Abbey where like everyone goes. It's like straight people go, couples go. Like it's, it's all everyone goes now. So yeah. And because I'm in my 30s now, I'm promptly in bed by 11:30. I, go there till 11 and then I'm, in bed.
Are you in bed with somebody else?
No, by myself. Because now I'm at an age where I, can't sleep with a random stranger and, you know how it is.
That's smart. But you're gorgeous, so you could
keeping it
classy.
To.
Well,
but
thank you.
You don't need to,
classy now. It was very trashy in my 20s, so,
Weren't we all?
I mean, yeah. Also went to NYU as the two of you did.
You did?
I did.
I think I knew that, Marcos, but I also wasn't knowing how to pronounce her last name, so I don't know enough.
Seems like you could know a little bit more about Marcos. Wait, because Danielle and I didn't know each other at NYU.
No, but I was there years before you. I was there like 4 or 5 years before you.
And Marcos, probably
I was there
years before me.
From 2003 to 2007. So,
I was like already middle-aged by then.
I was
already...
You were in Brazil shooting
in Brazil, thinking I was hot stuff.
Being a high fashion Asian model.
Yes.
And were you in writing or?
I double majored. I was film and TV production and journalism. So
excuse me.
Yeah, I know. I chose journalism as like a fallback, and which is the least.
And he succeeded, FYI.
I did. Yeah, I was a style editor at the LA Times for 2 years. Yeah, so I know.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. At NYU, when I majored in acting, you had to have like a science credit, and for the actors, they were like, yeah. Broadcast journalism can be a science.
They were like, computer science is a science. They taught me how to make a web page where I advertised myself. So there you go. Science check.
We paid $1 million for that class. Wow. Okay.
So he's quite accomplished.
I want to know right off the bat, what's your favorite franchise? Like favorite city for Housewives?
It used to be Beverly Hills for the longest time. And then this past season with the Munchausen, repetition, it really lost me, So
I think it lost a lot of us.
Yeah. So New York has recently risen back to the top as, one of my favorites. Although after tonight's episode, I don't know.
You were having a lot of trouble with tonight. We're going to get there, but...
We are going to get there. But spoiler alert, we did not get a trip.
No.
We did not get a trip.
No, and you're very angry about it.
Very upset about this.
When 19 minutes in, the trip was, unbeknownst to us, somehow over.
The trip to Mohegan Sun, we kept thinking we had skipped sections and that they were still living it up at Mohegan. No.
Yeah.
But we'll get to this. We have other things, too.
We'll get to it. Guys, let's jump into New Jersey, shall we?
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
Haven't seen it.
Casey has not seen it this week, but Marcos and I have. Now,
sorry if I was too busy baking Bethany's boo-boo bread.
She made it tonight, guys, and it's fantastic. And it looked pretty.
It was delicious.
Which I think is, looks are important.
Thank you, Robin Shore, for that. Heads
and
up.
Bethany. Let's not forget to you.
Yeah, let's credit Bethany.
To the OG. Now, I would like to talk about the fact that Teresa's New Jersey, we open up, Teresa's a day out of prison and in a lot of debt and in trouble with the government, both her and her husband. And she is greeted with a new Lexus.
She is, and also she has a lawyer who speaks on her behalf to the press.
He's a real Joey Buttafuoco.
Joe Pesci, right out of My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, he's a real.
Which made me think, why get a new car when you could put that money toward a better lawyer?
That's all I keep thinking of.
Great question.
My question is, how is the government? Isn't this how we got in trouble in the first place? They don't have the money. There are creditors and debtors and
it's still up in the air as to if Joe's going to be deported.
Yes, get a goddamn Hyundai. What are you doing with a Lexus?
Kia Sorento.
I know. Kia Serenity, please. So I found that frustrating and kind of you're back to your old tricks. Have we learned nothing in prison? And the answer is we have not.
No, we have not.
I feel like Milania getting an eyebrow wax felt right. Because those Giudices, and saying this as a thick-browed girl herself, the sooner you can get in there, the better.
Is Milania the oldest?
No. Milania is the animal.
Yeah, who at one point in this episode is passed out on New Year's Eve underneath a leopard print couch well before midnight, well before the ball has dropped.
And then Teresa says she sometimes likes to fall asleep here.
Ooh.
It was...
a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It felt tough, but her brows looked great.
Great.
So, Gino, the son of the Gorgas, is 8 years old and has a mustache. I think we all just need to get our eyes on that. The men in that family are so fucking virile. His balls must have dropped at birth. That kid was fucking...
But has not grown an inch.
No,
has not grown an inch.
2 foot nothing.
Yeah.
He looks like a baby with a mustache.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to me. But like I said, they're men. They come out like men. It's so amazing to me. And Joe Gorga is always horny and ready to go. So his sons are following in his footsteps. Now, I also thought that we saw this week that Teresa has not grown at all. She's still up to her old tricks of being passive aggressive. Her fight with her sister-in-law was just no time had passed.
Yeah.
No prison sentence.
They fought this week?
They fought. Yeah. So
well, not a fight, a discussion. They never, except for the reunions, there's not a ton of screaming, but it was definitely it's literally the first time they have seen each other since she's been out of prison. They walk to the kitchen and then they're like, you be cool with me. No, you need to be cool with me. It's the same fight that they've been having for years.
It's very confusing. It was like Inception with too much makeup and not enough proper English is what it was like.
It was just we've been here before. We've seen this before. Nobody has grown.
And you would think when someone comes out of prison, you would just kind of just say, hey, how are you?
Yeah, none of that. It was more she went to the prison, she learned some yoga, and she's and that's it. That's what she learned at prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she dyed her own hair there. We learned that
and
she.
All of her friends talk about her looking so great and talking about prison like it's a diet or like it's, a spa.
Yeah.
And it was, a little disturbing.
Very disturbing.
Also, the New Year's Eve, they're all spending New Year's Eve together. We get to see Kathy Wakili and her husband Wakili. Rich. I'm going to say Rich.
Rich? I think so.
And then
believe.
Rosie, who we love. And I love
Rosie.
to get some Rosie time.
I've always said I would like Nick Kroll to play Rich. And I don't know the proper context for it, but he could do Rich so well.
I did think you were going to say I want Nick Kroll to play Rosie. It's like that works too. Like,
I know he could take on both roles.
Yeah, I have no doubt that he could master both of those roles at the same time. Yeah. Also, though, I felt like Rosie always kind of gets the bad end of this whole Gorga, Wakili, Giudice fight. You know what I mean? Like, she's left out of things. And because of that, she gets so hurt. She wears her heart on her sleeve, and then she gets so hurt, and she gets left out just because everybody hates Kathy. And it's not fair to Rosie.
Why does everyone hate Kathy?
I don't really understand, I mean,
I hate Kathy.
Yeah, but we're allowed to. We're not her family.
Yeah.
Like, her family should love her. But Teresa really has a problem with her, and I can't get my finger on what the problem is.
Yeah, me either. I don't know. I mean, maybe she just doesn't like her desserts. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Also, I also feel like that. What was I going to say? Oh, that Teresa does it on, like, I don't think she wants her family involved in the show. I don't think she wants people stealing her spotlight. And in some ways she felt like Kathy was stealing her spotlight, which is strange because we all know Kathy can't steal a spotlight. And I say that with love.
Yeah.
But, again, we all know who you are. I am not an ex girl.
Yeah.
I am an ex. No.
Know thyself.
Yeah, know thyself. And Kathy Wakili, know yourself.
Yeah.
So, and Teresa know who Kathy is.
Oh, I remember why. Okay, it's coming back to me. Kathy did a cookbook, or she used a recipe from someone's family recipe, or didn't credit Teresa or something, or Teresa stole a recipe. So our fans will correct us, but something went on with the recipes and the cookbooks.
In one of the books, right?
Yes.
All right.
Because wasn't Kathy's whole thing like skinny Italian? I don't think she went the skinny route.
No, I think
that was Teresa who wrote skinny
Kathy
Italian.
Was like
Fat
desserts
Italian?
by Kathy or something. No.
I'm kidding.
Desserts by Kathy, or like Wakili, why not? Or something like, it was like not something a little less polished than Teresa.
Sure.
And I say that because, and Teresa is hardly polished, but it was still like beneath a Teresa. Also, I thought the episode was a little boring this week, very boring this week. Like nothing was happening. And where was Siggy?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Not a Siggy sighting.
We got a great premiere with Siggy, with a headscarf and sunglasses.
And soup through a bisque through a straw.
Yeah, giving a full-on Death Becomes Her look.
Yeah.
And then and no follow-up.
Yeah, so it was a little bit...
No.
Chaffin, our good friend Jessica Chaffin, I forgot to tell you, did text me during this and said, I believe when Gia came home from New Year's that she was high.
Ooh.
She told me the same thing. I ran into her last night, and literally we were at a book reading, and she like screamed across the thing. She was like, "Gia was high."
Interesting. You know what though? I gotta say, like Joe gave Gia wanted to go out for New Year's Eve, and Joe gave her a harder time than he does on his belts, than his waistline on his belts. And give this girl a break. Like her mother, was away in prison for a year. She had
He calls her names. It's so mean.
Yeah.
He's so mean to her. He's the worst. Obviously, he's an alcoholic, I think.
Absolutely.
And obviously, he's going depressed and angry, and he created the nightmare this family is in. But this daughter has been taking the place of her mother for a year, keeping this house in line. So let her go out New Year's. Like she's proved she's responsible.
Yeah. You know what? If she wants to pass the Ducci on the left-hand side on New Year's Eve, you know what? Let her.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You know what?
And I was just like, he was like, I hate you, you're like, you stupid thing. Like, he's like, calls her stupid, you disrespectful. Like, it's like, are you kidding me?
Also, it like dawned on me when I was watching it. These are parents who are trying to parent their child. They're both felons. They're both convicted felons trying to parent a child. Like, what's going on?
Four children.
Four children. Yeah.
And to show your kids, again, I didn't see the episode, but to show your kids in that powerful scene that I didn't see, when that Lexus pulled up, that I can only imagine was great. I mean, to show your kids, like, after your mom has gone to jail at your hand because of financial matters, that you're buying a Lexus is so crazy.
We also got another sneak peek at Envy, which...
Ooh.
Oh, that's Melissa Gorga's store?
Yes.
The only thing that makes me excited about that is that I feel like we're going to get a Kim D posh fashion show rivalry with Melissa Gorga. I think we're setting that up, right?
I hope.
No?
I can only
I hope so.
That would be wonderful.
Is Melissa going to sing and dance again?
I think she's done that. She's like, I'm a businesswoman now.
Right.
Like, and
She hung
so
up
I
that
feel
hat.
like, you know, jobs are like jobs are like wind to these people. They just kind of like blow through and then they're gone and we never see them again. So like she was a singer, she was a model, she was, you know, a fashion designer,
a prostitute.
She was a whore. Like she, you know, they just like they flow through, they flow out.
Yeah.
So you know, Envy is one amongst many, I think, things.
I'm going to say something controversial, which is that, and I don't think I've really come clean, I don't like Jersey.
Why not?
I know. And I know I don't want to talk about Hamilton again, and I know this is treading into those waters, but you know my heart belongs with OC in Atlanta.
I know.
And I love Beverly Hills and New York, but I've never connected to Jersey. Now, I've had some good times with it. That's not to say I haven't, because I absolutely have.
believe I watched the table flip with you. I believe we were in the same room
in the good old days, I really, really, really loved it. But for whatever reason, it just doesn't speak to me.
I do feel like it speaks to me, but maybe that
And
Jersey
that's not like so refined or something.
No.
There's just something
none
about
of these
it that...
women are refined. Let's be
Yeah, I know.
on the up and up.
I know. There's just something about it that I'm a little like, ugh.
No, I still
I don't
love
know if it's my Italian roots and that.
And
like,
I have not a drop of Italian in me.
I mean, I have family members who would like fight each other at weddings physically. So it's like, I don't know if it's too close.
Sometimes we hate in others what we see in ourselves. I'm just going to put that out there.
100%. There's just something about it that is always kind of, you know, I'm not a huge Manzo fan, and I don't want to
And when
say
we
that
talk
to
to Greg next week,
I don't want to go there.
I mean, you've said it publicly.
Well, and he's probably heard it.
We haven't been kind to that family. I'm sure he will defend them for it.
I know.
But, you know, I want him to speak his mind when we see him, and we'll see what happens. We have to.
I guess I felt like in Jersey, there's never been that one character, like at least a Bethany or even a Kyle. And I'm not saying these are our favorite characters, but someone you can kind of like get in with.
Yeah, you're way in.
Now, of course, I loved, what was the crazy woman's name?
Danielle
Staub.
Staub.
Oh, God.
How could you forget Danielle?
Well, Danielle
My
Staub,
namesake?
who wrote this. What was that song she wrote that June and I used to sing?
Oh, it was like... I can't
God,
remember.
she wrote a duet that June and I sang.
Yeah, I remember. It was beautiful.
A gorgeous duet that she wrote with her lesbian lover. It was really amazing.
It was a ballad, too.
Yeah, I'll think of it. But I loved the Danielle Staub days. Like, she was everything to me.
She's still going. Yeah. She's still on Twitter. She like weighed in on this season. Had some real thoughts.
I was hoping that with Danielle going to prison, Teresa going to prison, that they were going to bring Danielle back.
I don't think they ever will. I think she's burned too many bridges.
Yeah.
And I think Andy doesn't like her. I think it comes down. I don't know this for a fact, but I believe that Andy does not like her.
The song is called Real Close. And the chorus is Close to You. Real close.
Do you remember how it goes?
I don't. It has no tune. I remember June and I were like struggling. Like it doesn't have a chorus, and it's like real close. It's a crazy song, and we will sing it at one point.
I remember a tear coming to my eye when you sang it because it was like best friends. I was like, yeah, this feels right. Like,
yeah, it's a beautiful love song.
You guys were our best friends, and that's like a friendship that I could feel in that song.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that's Jersey, and we're gonna go to any further thoughts on Jersey?
The other thing that happened, thing that happened at the end of the episode was Teresa basically called Jacqueline at the end of the episode and was like, "I'm having a party and you're not invited."
Yeah,
and
then Jacqueline was like, well, your cousins are over here. Your family is here. And Teresa's like, well, I got 35 people over here. And Jacqueline's like, bye. And Teresa's like, bye. It reminded me of the Jenny McCarthy, Tara Reid phone call this week.
Yes.
Did you read it?
Oh, yeah.
It was tough of them sort of like smiling through hatred. And it had that sort of exact same like, you're a bitch. I love ya.
Both of those are tough customers.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
All right, we'll take a little commercial and come back with OC.
Guys, we're back.
We're back with OC.
And we're back with our guest, Marcos. We have so much to discuss today. We're going to get into Orange County, but first...
We've been calling for this next thing.
And a lot of fans have called for this, which is for June Diane Raphael, the Vicky Gunvelson defender, to really just weigh in and give her thoughts. And
it's been tough to root for Vicky this season. And and we just want to know what June has to say about that.
I don't normally watch Orange County, and I watched this week for this, and Vicky's pretty horrible. There's some really not great things that she did this week. So yeah,
from the mouth
Marcos
of a newborn.
Has the sweetest face.
Yeah, he's the sweetest person too on the planet.
So Jiggy, June. Oh God. What happened? Jiggy has written, I will now call her Jiggy. She sent us, and the email is so formal. It just says Vicky statement. And these are June Diane's thoughts about Vicky, and let's just listen to them, and then we'll respond.
At this time, I'd like to read a statement I've written on behalf of Vicky Gunvelson. I know Vicky is getting a lot of heat for how she dealt with Brianna's unwell homecoming, and I can and will only say this. Taking a 21-hour car trip with 2 small children and a swollen-footed daughter looked like fresh hell to me. And I think Vicky did the best she could. The best she could. Let's not forget, Vicky bought Brianna that giant white Tundra of a car or whatever that was, and was bringing her back to the OC for better medical care. Brianna's mysterious illness was basically being treated inside of a tornado before Vicky arrived. Now, I'm not sure why Brianna was driving the whole time, but I can only imagine she insisted upon it. Did you guys forget who Brianna is married to? Basically a maniac who attacked a daft, kooky, lovable old hippie a few seasons back for sitting on a couch. Can't remember any of those details, but I do know something is up with that man, and something is up with Brianna. Now, maybe her husband has PTSD, and if so, I hope he's getting help for it. But something is up. Yes. We would all love to see Vicky dropping all of her 4 p.m. meetings and all things Coto Insurance to be an advocate and caretaker for Brianna. But Vicky is a limited person, and that's the worst thing I'm going to say about her. Because Vicky is doing her best. Vicky is doing her best. Would you trust Coto Insurance to Michael? She had to go in. And yes, of course, she also wanted to go in and get away from those grandkids and her daughter's immune issues. But I also believe she had to. Vicky is trying. Vicky is trying. Now, I'm only a few minutes into this week's episode, but I am very worried about the safety of Brianna's boys at her house. And I do think Vicky should get a playpen. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, we are laughing so hard. Danielle has spit all over herself and is drooling in her hand. Oh my God. Thank you, June Diane Raphael, for that stirring.
Wow, I tried to swallow and through the laughter, it just couldn't happen. Wow. That was stirring.
That's stirring. A lot to think about. And I love how she's punching this. Vicky's doing her best.
She is doing what she can.
It seems that June judges Vicky on a scale, just a Vicky scale.
Yeah. I feel if I were to do those things, I would be judged much harder by June. If you remember
about that, because at the Whimsy, you fared pretty well.
Yeah, I did pretty well at Whimsy, but
I think she went pretty easy on you.
Yeah.
But wow, June. Something's going on. What I think, yes, something's going on with Brianna's husband. Something's going on with June and Vicky.
Yeah. I know the way she defends. I'm sorry, I'm still dealing with this laughter / choking.
They're
laughter
not
through choking is my favorite emotion. Sorry. Steel Magnolias, everybody.
Are they related? Does she know her?
Great question.
Because she very much
Not
got her
only
back.
have they never met, Brooks and Vicky have threatened a lawsuit against June for using for June continues to use Vicky's face as the avatar on her Twitter and Instagram.
And even when they have asked her to put it down and demanded, June has stuck by her guns.
Mm-hmm. And she won't change it.
No, and so to stand by her at this moment is inexplicable.
And no further action was taken from Brooks or Vicky.
No.
Against
Empty
June,
threats at most.
which June knew.
She called their bluff, but
Look, I hear what June's saying. It's hard as a defense to also say I'm only 3 minutes into the episode.
no, this
Next one. Right. But I mean, she is making some valid points, which is like,
Which are?
But to June, I do counter. Yes, she says she's moving Brianna home for medical care. Is she?
Disagree. I think she wants Brianna close. Brianna's her only true north. And I think she's like, she's her child. I get that. I would like to, I have said about my child, I would like her to live with me as long as possible. And I don't see what's wrong with Grey Gardens. I've said that many times. I don't want to live in filth, but the rest of it I would do gladly.
A feel-good film for you?
Yeah. I'm like, that seems like that's the relationship I aim for with my daughter personally. But I do think it's selfish to take, and the medical care is in Orange County, is it that much better? Just going to put it out there.
I mean, okay. I was struck this week when I got the details on the fact that Ryan is not able to leave Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't touch down on that, much like the hurricanes or the tornadoes, excuse me, of Oklahoma.
Yeah, that storm cellar stuff was rough.
Tough. When they went out to dinner at a Outback, it was tough.
It would be
and
nice.
I love Outback, by the way.
A bloomin' onion is right up there for me.
It's literally my heaven. But, they were celebrating Brianna's birthday. But I don't know, June. I hear you. And I agree Vicky does need to get a playpen.
I also disagree with Vicky had to go to her meeting. She sees her daughter struggle. And we talked about this last week. I just feel like she is letting Vicky off the hook. And I understand that this is that June she loves Vicky blindly. And I think we have to accept that.
June didn't answer this, but I would be curious to know her thoughts on why she felt she could attend a beach party with Kelly.
Yeah.
And I know what June would say, which is she's taking care of a sick person. She doesn't deserve a little,
But it's not like she's been under for 6 weeks and she needs to come up. It feels like it's been 2 days at most.
I think it's been hours since Brianna came home and Vicky was gotta go find my rummage for my fur vest and get some Tito's.
Hire her some help. Hire her some help.
That's my question. We're running into people at gas stations and hoping they can stay with the
Ryan's
boys.
ex-wife?
What struck me was that, her daughter gets taken away in an ambulance and she does not ride in the ambulance with her to the hospital.
Maybe Brianna was
great point.
Right?
It was weird.
I would say that
she's
Brianna
answering
was
Tamara's phone calls in the car.
I thought that was strange. It's
especially since they're not even friends at this point.
No.
Why was Ryan's ex-girlfriend baby mama at that gas station? That was...
Well, she's allowed to get gas.
It felt coincidental to me in a way.
Tamara calls it Jesus. You call it coincidental. I thought there was a spiritual element to it. Now, I'm a very spiritual person. I did just think it was a synchronicity that we can no longer ignore in the universe. Anyway, guys.
Does that mean that Ryan and this woman should be together?
No. Ryan is, as I said to you, a flight risk and dangerous.
Yeah, you are scared of Ryan.
I'm serious. If you see Ryan, run. I mean that. There's a look in his eye.
Say something.
There's a look in Ryan's eye that worries me.
It does seem like he could go off at any second. None of us are totally safe, including Tamara.
Now, Tamara is, again, I don't really watch OC regularly. She's the busted up Kelly Ripa who's married to the busted up Marcos Luevanos.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes,
Okay, great.
Correct.
Perfect.
You are
Great.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. Summation.
Good.
Correct, sir.
Good.
On
All right.
first sight, you have nailed it to a T.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Vicky is just... Ooh.
No, she's never looked better.
Yeah, she looks great.
She looks the best she's ever looked. I would say, though, that I'm sick of the Vicky apology sympathy tour.
Me too.
Because she doesn't deserve it, as I have said many times.
She's clearly clamoring for friendlies. And again,
Kelly?
Vicky is, yeah. What happened? Why did everyone turn against her?
Wow. Well, Marcos, as you can imagine, and probably what happens in your group of friends all the time, you know, Vicky's boyfriend claimed to have cancer and he did not.
Oh, yeah.
And she stood by him.
Oh.
As happens.
And she knew, or it's
that's what's being debated. Did she know? And Danielle believes she did, of course. I don't know if she did. I think she was willingly deceiving herself because she so wanted to make a go of something with this man.
But willingly deceiving and lying to yourself and to others are sort of similar.
I know. I believe Vicky doesn't think she did anything wrong.
Do you?
Vicky, yeah, I don't think Vicky's sitting there lying like, oh God, I hope no one, catches me.
I agree, but I think that makes her a sociopath.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Other moments this week that I found just curious is seeing Jim's sperm frozen.
I hate Jim. I hate him with such a burning, intense passion.
I legitimately thought that he was her father, and then when they kissed on the lips, I was like, "Whoa, okay, not her dad."
I love the fresh eyes.
Yeah, this
her
fresh
dad.
eyes has been revealing.
Not her dad.
He's such an asshole.
He's a bull of a man. He is a human bull.
He really is.
And he might show just love differently than other humans, and that's what I'm picking up on. His love looks a lot like dismissive.
Okay.
A lot, yeah.
And he was a sports person, right?
He's now a baseball commentator.
Okay.
He was a sportsman.
Okay. But
You're
he
correct.
was okay.
He was.
He's on
He was a
roids
sports
and
player.
protein powder and chicken breasts, and he's probably
You're
like
right.
on a
He
weird.
looks roided out.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff going through that system of his, I'm sure.
Honestly, he will snap as well. And I just think he's such a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I find him so deplorable. I love that, she's trying to explain everything that's going on with IVF. I mean, she's not going through like a shopping list. And he's like, and you're expecting me to follow all of this? Then she starts crying. He's like, what are you crying for? And I was literally like, I want to reach through the fucking TV and murder him with my bare hands and pull his fat red face apart with my hands. I hate him.
No, I agree.
You're like, I hear you.
I hear you. I do. I know. I feel those emotions too. I don't like him. I have been thinking, and I can't remember if I said this last week. Is he a lily pad?
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think so. For sure.
I think this is not his last marriage, and I think it's not her last marriage.
I get that not that we all, I should not have said that, but women want to have kids, and I get that, and that's natural instinct. But there is something strange to me about her blindly wanting kids, not seeing this man does not want more children.
No.
Yeah.
No, he does not. He will not be a father to them. I mean, he will.
He literally is offering her zero support when he really all he would need to offer at this point is just like, oh, how's it going? Like, hope it's going well. I mean, he acts like he's so burdened by this process, and he's such an asshole.
And to not see that, to want a child so blindly when this man obviously could care less. This is the easy part, lady. This is the easy part.
Yeah.
When that child is born, you're on your own, man.
Yeah.
Like, look how he's treating his other children. He doesn't seem to be quite there for them.
Yeah. That rosacea-ridden beer keg with a ball cap on is not going to help you when that baby comes. He's not going to change a diaper.
It's so funny because when I was going off in that weird monologue about how I wanted to tear his face off, I was grasping for words, and rosacea-ridden face is what I wanted to come up with.
You really articulated it in a way that, through anger.
Thank you.
No.
I mean, someone pointed out in the Twitter feed, I think, that Vicky was wearing that fur vest on the beach. That's the second time we've seen that outfit.
Yeah, it was seen last year. I mean...
And they showed it in the episode in the flashback.
Yeah.
We're in that Mexican
bravo.
restaurant when they're doing that like Sex in the City girls night. It's great.
I don't wear a short, and seeing Vicky in those camel colored green shorts was tough.
Yeah.
Not because of how it was just an odd with the vest.
It looked odd.
I do feel like we've talked about this a lot, and again, nothing wrong with aging, but we are just watching just old biddies. It's like now they're like, on OC, it's like, let's gather around and watch her shoot herself up for IVF.
That was
like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, whenever someone whips a needle out at a party, I leave. I don't stick around for that.
Yeah. What are in the needles that you're usually privy to?
Some needles,
I will say again, I have revealed on this podcast, I did do IVF. It was a very when I shot myself with a needle, it was private and fast.
It's a private moment.
It was a bathroom moment and sometimes I did have to go in like a public kind of like bathroom at a restaurant or gym. You know, things happen. You have a schedule. You got to keep to it. You got to. But it was never like a gaggle of old ladies around me cheering me on in my closet bar.
You didn't send out an Evite and have people over.
No, no.
And these closets and these bars and closets.
Ladies, you can drink 2 feet away in your goddamn kitchen.
And Heather to me is so that person that's like, I don't eat, but because I don't eat, I get to drink a lot. It's like, okay, you don't eat, you're riddled with something's going on, and you're drinking your calories, and there's something. It's beyond liking to drink with her. I think
I don't know if you saw her on her Instagram this week. She showed her new bar is in with all the champs. She was like, first things first, and like her like with a huge cart of like.
It's a bar that it's like $8,000 worth of champagne in this like, you know, freezer like bar. There's millions of bottles of champagne, and then she has a button that you can press in her closet that says like press for HD champagne, so that she can alert the kitchen staff when she wants a glass of champagne. Gross.
I hate her house, and I would like it to burn to the ground with no one in it. But I hate it.
Well, that's fine because Ryan will be setting it on fire one day.
I mean, I have grown to hate it in a way that I don't hate another human or thing in this world. The way you hate Megan's husband is the way I hate that house.
And they're releasing photos of it, and it's so terribly done. And did you hear about this war she got into with Jeff Lewis?
Yes, I did.
Oh, no, I did not hear about
gosh,
this.
Marcos,
this is exciting.
This is really good.
This is great.
So Jeff Lewis was on Watch What Happens Live.
Jeff Lewis of Flipping Out.
And he basically, Andy asked him, who is your least favorite housewife? And then twist, because I do think Heather prides herself on being like, I'm the normal one with all these crazies. He said right off the bat, Heather Dubrow, because inexplicably, he had been at a dinner party at Shannon Bedore's house with Heather.
Like them hanging out.
I know. So weird. And he said that she was incredibly rude to the waitstaff. And he found her to be obnoxious, rude, demeaning to Terry, which that I'm okay with. But and then she swung right back and said he was an asshole. And then she comes out with this big kind of a bit of a sob story. And that sounds like I'm not believing her. I do believe her. She said that he was making comments like, if your husband's a plastic surgeon, like, why don't you have bigger breasts? And like making fun of her breasts. I feel like he must have been joking, but
yeah, like who would take that?
I feel like she was so, you know,
she has
floored.
no sense of humor about herself. She's zero.
And I think she probably thinks of herself as someone who's like very kind to the wait staff. And he probably just saw her for what she is, I think, and called her out, and she has flipped out. Hey, flipped out.
Wow. And there we have it.
Right into it, guys. I walked right into it.
Oh, we have fun.
We have fun. We're nuts.
Oh, God. You guys want to see me do my IVF needles?
Guys, I mean, we have to blow through OC because we got to get right on to New York.
But we do have a commercial.
Ooh. We're back.
We're back, guys. Back.
Marcos, do you want to start us off on New York? I mean, thoughts?
Let me just say, okay, I 100% agree with you, Casey. There needs to be something in the Bravo bylaws for housewife trips where you have to get on a plane.
Yes.
And it has to take more than 3 hours to get there because this Mohegan Sun, Connecticut bullshit, I'm not here for that. That was 20 minutes of the episode, maybe 10, 15.
They prep for 2 weeks. We've been hearing about Mohegan Sun. That's another thing. It spent more time as a buildup. And they didn't
even wrap it up.
No. And then it was just like an empty casino with 2 old biddies and glow sticks dancing around for 5 minutes. And then that was that.
Yeah. The next thing I know, we're back in Carol's apartment talking about the book.
We were also shocked that we thought it was one of those things that at first we thought it was like, remember when Bravo like takes a little like funny cut and
they'll do that like 3/4 of the way of the episode. It's a very short kind of interstitial between commercials where it'll be like, this one's a fun one. And they do that every time. And we were like, wait, is this that? No. We were done with Mohegan Sun.
It was.
I wanted to be done.
Oh, yeah. I did not want to be there any longer. But if we're not doing the Mexico trip that we were promised and then was.
But how come we were promised Mexico? We didn't get Mexico because of Bethany's vagina, but then she gets to go to Aspen and we don't get to go with her?
Right. Yeah.
Where do we get to go? What about our trip?
What about us?
I don't know. It was like, when your family says like, we're going to go on vacation to this great place. And then, it's like
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Or like a staycation.
Yeah. Or like
staycation.
Yeah.
Or like we're camping in the backyard.
Yeah. Or going somewhere educational.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt educational.
Yeah.
That Mohegan Sun suite that they were all pretending, trying to get their dicks up to like.
Yeah.
When they were like, this is great. And it was the saddest suite. Like, I mean, granted, Beverly Hills was a snore, but at least we were in Dubai, like looking at a wall of fish.
Yeah.
I feel like the producers brought out those lays in the scene with Dorinda, and they're just like, we're on lays. We got to get them to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Honolulu?
I know. We were all like, where are they going? And then they said Honolulu, and we all went, ugh. Like,
yikes. And the hotel, what was it called? Like New Quarters?
I
Or
want to
like
say it's a Hilton at best.
the one we were at? With Mohegan Sun one. I'll find it. I wrote it
felt like
down.
New Relations or something like that.
We didn't even get Dorinda drunk, which I love because it's like Kirk Douglas in a platinum blonde wig, which is my favorite thing. But,
she's amazing. What we did get was a bright yellow mohair sweater with a turtleneck under it.
Okay, it was a Ralph Lauren canary yellow sweater thrown over a white turtleneck. It truly is what my grandma would wear to Christmas.
It was, she walked into that scene and we all gasped.
Screamed. And then first we just see that and she's sitting at the restaurant, and so we're just trying to process it. If we're screaming, everybody's
we were like, let's just get our heads around this. Like, where are we? What time of day is it? Like, what?
Who am I?
Who are we to each other? Like,
Is global warming real? Like,
like, are we alive? Like, is this an alternate? Like, we were just trying to figure shit out with that outfit.
And then Ramona Singer arrived and took off a coat and revealed, and this is daytime, by the way, so a fishnet black outfit
that really threw us, because then we were like, where are we?
And what time of day is it? Yeah.
It was so
I believe we were at a place called Bistro Noir, I think is what it was called.
It felt so strange, and I just didn't know what was happening. I had so many different thoughts, and I'm still
Ramona's getting very sad. Like in the testimonials, wearing all these cutouts, but for women of a certain age, it's hard to do cutouts where one might want to cut out. So it's just like 5 triangle cutouts on her arm.
I'm gonna have a cutout over my ear. Gonna be like, and this is what I want to reveal.
And in that testimonial where Ramona's in red, and the one where she's like, I'm happy for Luann. It seems to be that she's wearing Dolce, your Kylie lip kit color,
which, as we see, does not look good on anyone.
It's like a washed out brown with a red dress.
Can I also say that, as just to talk about the Dolce, I took it off last week, and then as I tried to apply later in the day other colors, the Dolce was like a black hole that sucked other colors in.
Really?
So no color would appear on my lips. It was frightening.
Danielle.
It took me a shower and a day or two to really get the Dolce gone, which says a lot for the staying power of the Kylie lip kit. But also, you have to really commit to
Sounds like you have to find the right color.
You have to find the right color and live with it for maybe the rest of your life.
Right.
This might be a permanent situation I'm dealing with.
You do still seem to be wearing. Yeah, I'm kidding.
I am looking deadish.
Guys, I mean, this episode, we're back at the Black Barn. We're doing I want more Luann.
Yeah.
Well, Luann's with Tom, living her best life.
And I'm so glad next week it seems like we're going to see more Tom.
Yeah. They're on a boat next week, which seems very exciting, hopefully.
Where?
But
right?
yet
Is
not
the boat?
quite what we want. Where is the boat? Just out the harbor?
I don't know.
I did
Staten
see a
Island
palm
Ferry?
But I did see a palm tree, and it seemed to be there were not many layers that they were wearing. But it didn't look like Hawaii. So I don't know where they are. Are they in Florida right now?
I am literally so excited to see Tom and Luann interact.
There was a lot about Tom's other dalliances with Sonia and with Ramona this week, and we got some details. And at one point, we heard Sonia say, Sonia say, "Can I help if my 3 degrees of separation goes through these guys every time?" Meaning Luann and Ramona. Those three have just Like, they're
enmeshed. I mean, Luann presenting that ring, and then what was that monologue Sonia did about her ring? She was like, I mean, it was very awkward. She presents an 8-carat murky diamond, and mine's a 3T449, and we're all like, what?
And I couldn't tell if like she was impressed by it or thought it was shit. Like murky sounds like a bad word for a diamond. I don't know.
It was that a nice diamond, Marcus?
I can't tell, if they're all, because the weird gem that Carol gave Luann looked a little better than, the ring.
Which was no doubt like costume crystal.
No,
absolutely.
Like a Swarovski, I can't pronounce that either. Crystal, if anything.
You're so right.
So
it looks nicer.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
And Danielle said she's hearing titterings that Luann paid for that ring.
I heard that Luann might have paid for it. Again, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't even know where Luann would get that money. Did she sell the Hamptons house? Perhaps.
I wouldn't put it past her.
No, me neither.
Neither
She's
would I.
all about appearance.
Giving up like house and home just to have a ring that she'll have to pawn
Oh, God.
before this New Year's wedding.
Will this wedding ever happen?
I think so.
I think it will. I don't know if it'll last, but it'll definitely happen.
The little energy I'm getting from Tom on the boat next week, and again, this was just in the upcoming episodes, is that Tom is excited about the cameramers.
You think so?
I felt a little.
Well, we have seen Tom, as people have pointed out, in season 1 or 2, like socializing with the girls. So he does seem. Yes, you didn't hear about this?
No.
He was in like screen grabs of like season 1 or 2, like talking with the ladies. So like it feels like he's been trying to get in with this camera crew, maybe for a while.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily trust his intentions.
It does feel like Tom is Daniel Day-Lewis and New York is like his production of 9. Like he just wants to go through all these women and, just eventually end up with one and,
And he's good.
get some FaceTime. Yeah.
That photo of them, like with Luann in the red jacket, did seem kind of cute, I thought.
I did think he posed out though.
Yeah.
He found his light.
Yeah. And there was definitely someone with a bounce board like behind them, like trying to like make, flood them with some great
and
light.
Luann is like making me a little bit nervous the way she's so excited and so girlish, which it's sad.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
It's almost
to
like,
watch.
when someone who like was 18 excited about a proposal, like in Gone with the Wind, is like, and he talked to my daddy and it's happening. It's like, you're a woman who's been through things.
Yeah, you've had marriage. You've had a time in Italy as a game show host. You've had
sex with a pirate, that resembled Johnny Depp. Like you've been through it.
You've lived some life. And according to Sonia, you had a different guy every night coming in and out of that apartment. So you've lived a life.
The best was when Ramona was talking about Luann in a testimonial, and she goes, just so flat voice. She seemed psychotic. She goes, "This is Luann at Luann's best." It's like, is this a compliment? Like, what's happening?
Those women cannot be happy for each other. It's watching the triangle, or as Sonia said, it's not how can it be a triangle? The 4 of us, which was my favorite line of the night.
And let's talk about Jules. Ooh, that was very tough at Mohegan Sun when she said about, just to be gambling, and then being like, Michael, did you put money in my account?
The fact that Michael has to put, like, she has a special account that Michael fills every month.
So sad.
Not great.
Mohegan Sun ventures and for potty training.
For potty training gurus.
Yeah.
Like that
now
allowance.
I just talked about a baby nurse and I mentioned a friend's Chanel purse and I regret that because I don't want to seem like some idiot asshole, but a $2,000 potty training guru. But I haven't been there with my son. Maybe it would be worth it. I don't know, but
I feel like Jules is constantly over her head. And I do believe she's in over her head. Like, I don't believe she gets help at home from that husband. I believe she is emotionally fragile. So whatever, do I think she spends money on crazy things where she really needs help? Yes, I do. I think she's finding it outside of herself.
It should have been more expensive, though, for the woman to have to listen to Jules's jokes.
Ooh, yeah, that was tough. That was
Jules. Yeah. No, honey.
And I love how she's like, I'm gonna have a little fun with it. It's like, but we're not having fun.
And as Marcos pointed out, it's better than the ramekin.
Right. Yeah, higher level of comedy. Higher brow.
I forgot about the ramekin hygiene.
And the calzone.
Yeah, than that Carrot Top prop comedy, which did not land. I don't think.
No, but Jules is tough to watch.
Yeah.
Like I feel for her, but I also am like, Jules, get out of your own way, honey.
Yeah.
And she does look good when she has a coat on. Obviously she has an eating disorder.
Looks good when she has a coat on.
She has an eating disorder. I am not saying this lightly. I think she should get off TV and seek some help. Maybe this is helping her. I don't know, but it's rough to watch.
It really is. Although I liked that star sweater in the potty training scene.
She has great taste.
Yeah.
She has great taste. Better taste than even the fashions that Bethany's stylist picks out for her daughter.
I love that sad scene with Bethany's stylist is just like, I just don't think it's a good idea. It's like it's almost like she's paying this person to be this concerned citizen for her. And it made me feel sad.
Yeah, I felt like Bethany, again, I don't know who her real friends are, but are they there for her right now? It doesn't seem so. The fact that it didn't feel like she had anybody to call when her vagina was bleeding. Like the fact that it was Dorinda.
And it's like these vaginas are still bleeding out because we're still dealing with them.
Still dealing with this vaginal bleeding.
This better not be
How is that
following us to Hawaii.
As a man watching this, all this vagina business.
It's total. I mean, I've always been great with vaginas.
You really have been. I've known that about you.
Oh yeah, I grew up.
Yeah,
I grew up being a big fan of art. So when you go to museums a lot, you see a lot of vaginas.
I remember
I'm very okay with
at
them.
Telenovela, you said I am vagina friendly.
Oh, very vagina friendly. I'm not the kind of gay man that's like, ew, get it away from me. I don't want it in my face, but
nor do I.
I'm happy to look at it.
Do I?
Yeah, and I'm happy to hear about it. I'm curious. I want to know.
So you're okay with hearing about intense conversations about fibroids and bleeding out?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what happened to my pistachio?
Yeah. Well, that was when you give it a name, when you give it a nickname. I don't know.
If you name it, it gives its power. It's like Voldemort.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree.
Is there anything else? We do need to quickly. I want to just go back very quickly to OC and talk about the upcoming episode.
Yes.
Yes.
We all watched it together and we screamed when Shannon's 70s party, which Shannon does look crazy. Apparently, it's Shannon's 70s party. There's some discussion that her outfit does not look 70s enough.
Which who cares?
Yes.
So
literally, people are screaming then. You should have dressed up more. And Shannon screaming back I am 70s.
And then the other woman screaming, no wonder your husband cheated on you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, she's like, hey, Mrs. Roper. And then everyone's
I would
like,
take it as a compliment, FYI. Because that was in the 70s.
Yeah, some very sweet caftans.
Yeah.
for a woman to scream to another woman in front of a whole party of people, that's why your husband cheated on you. It was a real gasper.
Yeah. And it was, who was it again who did that?
Kelly.
It was
Kelly.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. The one who looks like the woman who from Dancing with the Stars, kind of.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Like, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that woman?
Cheryl Burke.
Yes.
Yeah. The one who looks like Cheryl
She
Burke.
looks exactly like Cheryl
Good
Burke.
call.
Yeah. I again, because I don't watch, I had to give them all names.
You have different reference points, and that makes sense.
But we are in for something next week. Shannon's parties are always tough. Like she can't.
And you know what they're going to do to us though? Like that was like next week, and it's going to be the last line of next week, and then it's to be continued. But we'll be there.
I know.
We're not going anywhere.
Fall for it every time, Andy
I do.
Cohen.
It's like they tell you, like crazy, isn't it? Like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Like that's where we are.
Oh, we're deep in that. Yeah. Guys, this has been a great episode.
It really has been. And Marcos, you've been a joy. And though I guess, you came in late to the game in terms of your order, you've gone up.
I will take what I can get. When it comes to you two lovely ladies, I will take what I can get.
That's so nice. You're a bright light.
Watch his new show, Life in Pieces.
Yeah, Life in Pieces. Yeah, it's going to be on Thursdays in the fall, starting in October. It stars Colin Hanks, two-time Academy Award winner Diane Wiest, Mr. Barbra Streisand himself, James Brolin.
I love that, Mr. Barbra Streisand. He's cute.
He is cute, right?
Gorgeous.
Nice.
I haven't met. I'm meeting him tomorrow.
What? It was Barbara and his anniversary this week. I follow her on Instagram, and she showed a beautiful picture of the two of them together. But they're both gorgeous.
Barbara's on Instagram?
She is.
Oh, yeah.
Casey.
Oh my God.
Casey, one of her first posts ever is a picture of cupcakes, and the caption is great. It goes, "Not on my diet."
That's so good.
It's great. It's amazing.
Immediately, she knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, she's perfect.
Following
and
her right
she
now.
is. I will say, also, I wanted to plug our next live Bitch Sesh show. I know we have one in July that sold out, but there are still tickets, I believe, for our August show at Largo on the 25th of August.
Yep. Largo. It's going to be really, really, really fun.
Some fun guests, and we're really excited about it. So you can still get your ticks.
Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, thank you to Luz, who's editing our show. Thank you to April.
Yeah.
And thank you, Marcos.
Thank you,
Danielle.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you.
And guess what? I think everyone should see you naked, and I think you should go for this role.
They will. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, hello. This is Negin Farsad, the host of Fake the Nation, where we talk about politics, we talk about news, and we have a laugh.
We were laughing.
Every week, a cast of my funniest, smartest, and most politically astute friends, people like John Fugelsang, Liz Winstead, Dean Obeidallah, and others, tackle all the major issues like climate change.
America leads the world in people who think climate change is fake, but pro wrestling is real.
Guns.
I started calling the NRA the AK-47%.
Filibuster? I don't even know her. Okay, that's not a major issue, but it's a really great pun. Guys, there's gonna be insightful commentary, but also maybe some real great poop jokes.
Fake the nation!
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman and Chris Bannon. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.